folks, Lyn-Genet here. Great to see you all. Very excited to talk about today's post, which is about goitrogens and optimal rotation and how to make them part of your overall balance. Now, unlike a lot of folks who say we're going to willy-nilly cut out entire groups of foods, I'm not a big proponent of that. What we want to do instead is test your individual reaction to that food. And then based on that food, no matter what category it's part of, whether it's wheat, whether it's dairy, whether it's meat, or whether it's goitrogens, we're going to figure out where that comes into your overall rotation. So if you test a goitrogen and if you pass it, the rule of thumb is you have it just once a week. And here's why. I have seen it come back to bite you in the butt when you have it more than once a week. And I use the story of a planner who knew she had thyroid dysfunction and she loved peanut butter. And she wanted to test peanut butter and her BBT was in a good zone. It was about 97. So I said, sure, let's test peanut butter. I know how much you love it. So we tested it and, she lost a decent amount of weight, and her BBT stayed stable. So I was like, great. Peanut butter is in as a once a week food. So she ignored me. And she had the peanut butter again a couple of days later. Now she wound up losing 0.2 instead of losing 0.5, and her BBT dropped. And she said, no, it can't be the peanut butter, not my beloved peanut butter. So she had it again a few days later, and she gained 0.5 and her BBT dropped a full point. So that's an example of what I often see happen with goitrogens. Another example is, and Brooke might remember this from a Facebook Teen Plan group. We have one planner tested strawberries and she lost 1.2 pounds. And she was thrilled. It was strawberry season. And I said, do me a favor, don't have it again for a week. And she ignored me and had it again the next day and gained 2 pounds. So goitrogens are really strong compounds that can easily overwhelm thyroid function. And for the most part, your body's super happy to have a healthy food, no matter what problematic compounds there are in that food. And it can easily break them down. But if you start to overwhelm your body with a certain compound, and in this example, we'll use goitrogens, you're going to find that your weight and your BBT starts to respond in a negative fashion. So I discussed this in the metabolism plan with spinach. And spinach is a good example, right? Because you buy a big tub of the organic spinach and it's kind of expensive and it goes bad really quickly. So you test the spinach and you're thrilled. It hasn't affected your BBT. Maybe your BBT is even boosted and you've lost phenomenal weight. So you have the spinach again the next day, not knowing that you have a sensitivity to the goitrogens that are in there, but also another problematic compound known as oxalic acid, which affects your neurological system. So on that first day, your thyroid and your neurological system could break down those compounds, not an issue. But by the second day, it starts to feel overwhelmed. And this can be why a lot of people will say, I don't understand. I tested this food on the plan. It worked. Why am I now stalling at my weight? Why am I stabilizing? Why am I gaining weight? Why do I keep gaining and losing the same 2 pounds? It's all about rotating the foods. And God forbid you have the spinach again on day 3 because that's just going to be your horror show, okay? So we have the ultimate rotation of proteins. We have the ultimate rotation of grains. So if you pass wheat, you have it every other day, not daily, because many of those compounds, one of which of course we all know is gluten, could start to build up. Guess who's going to build up a gluten sensitivity? Perhaps you. So why risk it, right? You just want to enjoy as many foods as possible and keep them as part of your overall rotation for optimal health and optimal weight. But back to the goitrogens. So when it comes to goitrogens, the foods that are listed in there, they're incredibly varied and they have incredible health benefits. So if you can include these foods as part of your overall diet, we definitely want them in, right? So let's say you test strawberries, peanut butter, Brussels sprouts, and spinach, and you pass all of them. Monday, you're going to have one. Wednesday, you're going to have another. Friday, you're going to have another. And Sunday, you're going to have another goitrogen, right, in that week, which is fantastic if you think about it. Because now you have this wide range of nutrients that your body's loving without it impacting your weight or impacting your health. Because remember, the thyroid is responsible for every metabolic and cellular function. So when we inhibit thyroid function, we're saying, I don't want to be 100%, I don't want to be 80%, I don't even want to be 60%. And it's just not worth it. I don't care how much you love your strawberries. Have another berry. And in the article that I wrote today, you can see that you can have all the benefits of a food in that class of foods, right? So if the strawberries are reactive for you, have the blueberries or test blackberries, which are super reactive. Or if you pass the strawberries, that's great. Keep it in once a week and then have the blueberries and the blackberries and whatever else works for you. So when I present this knowledge, I know a lot of times it can seem really overwhelming. How am I going to remember this? Trust me, when you step on the scale and you gain a pound from a handful of strawberries, you're going to remember only have the strawberries once a week. That's all for today, folks, and I'll be online answering your questions.